The basis of all the items in the universe is vibrating energy. Vibrating energy is active energy. Scientists make a difference between static energy and kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is not moving, according to scientists, and kinetic energy is moving. But according to the Buddha, there is nothing static anywhere in the universe. Everything is changing, decaying. For example, there is static energy in a battery. But if you keep the battery for a long time, that energy will get diminished. That means even energy is decaying. The main feature of energy is changing every moment. Decay is one form of changing. Scientists say that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. That is the conservation law or the conservation of energy principle. Though the energy cannot be created, the energy is intrinsically creative. Energy is nothing but the universal creativity that is identified in theistic religions as the Creator God. In Hinduism, there is not only a Creator God, there are two other gods. One sustains and the other destroys. In Hinduism, Brahma is the creator, Vishnu is the sustainer, and Ishvara is the destroyer. That triple nature of the universe, identified as three gods, universal gods, shows the impermanency of the universe, which Buddha referred to as anityata, impermanency. That is the basic nature of the universe and every item in it, according to Buddha. Because of that impermanency due to the creativity, energy is creativeness, there is degeneration, decay. And decay ultimately leads to the end of what has been created. In our day-to-day life, we can identify, and the Buddha said, Jati, Jara, Marana. Jati is birth. Birth of a being or birth of a thing. Jara means the decay. Whatever there is created decays. And Marana, what gets decays ultimately ends in death, extinct. But scientists say that energy may get a different form. For example, you are a bundle of energy. Your body and mind is a bundle of energy, a field of energy. When you die, the body dies, the energy of the body dies, and the energy of the individual mind dies, but rebirth or relinking, Punabhava in Sinhalese, that energy gets transformed into another form. That is why, with regard to rebirth, Buddha said, Nacha so, nacha anyo. You can't say you are going to be reborn again. You are not reborn. Your identity gets completely lost at your death. But a different person gets born, making use of that same energy that you have created in this life. That is the explanation of rebirth in Buddhism. And that continuation is a continuation of the energy called consciousness. Consciousness is also an activity of the energy. One activity. And that is the basis of our mind. As I mentioned at the beginning, both our mind and everything in and around us are vibrating. Vibration means the activity of the universal energy. It may be static when not used, but even when it is not used, as I mentioned earlier, it should decay. That is a form of activity. The latest theory of the physicist, founded in the last century, in the last 3 decades, in 70s, 80s and 90s, and finally finalized in 1995 into one unified theory called M theory, master theory, unifying 5 string theories that existed or founded by scientists by that time. That latest theory says that every item is vibrating. Therefore, the entire universe is a vibrating orchestra. Vibration means singing, according to the artist. We have a singing universe because of vibrations. Because vibrations produce sound. That is why the string theory referred to the universe as an orchestra of music. Not only the universe, every item in the universe is an orchestra of music. According to string theory, one item becomes different from the other items due to its vibrating pattern. String means vibrating strings, vibrating energy. For example, according to scientists, an electron is different from a proton because of the different patterns of vibration of energy in those 2 items. A proton is different from a neutron also due to the difference of vibrating pattern of the energy that go to form the 2 different items. Therefore, vibration is a universal factor. But Buddha said there is a state within oneself, within one's own mind, if you call it practically, non-vibrating mind. An enlightened mind is a non-vibrating mind, according to the Buddha. In the Mahamangala Sutta, discourse called Mahamangala, Buddha said, with regard to the mind of an enlightened, Puttasya loka dhammehi chittanyasana kampati. The enlightened mind is not vibrating, not vacillating, not changing, not moving when that mind comes in contact with worldly vicissitudes, worldly changes, worldly events and incidents. Nothing can disturb, nothing in the universe, nothing in the material universe can disturb the peace of mind in an arahant, in an enlightened one. In another sutta called Ratana Sutta, Buddha said, the enlightened mind is unmoved. It is like they refer to as Yatinda Kilo Patavin Chitosya Chatubbi Vatei Asampakampyo. In the ancient time, a pillar is erected in front of a city at its gate, in front of the gate. Victorious, a pillar. And that pillar, one feature is the pillar becomes broad and broader when it goes down. Therefore, when it is placed in the earth, it won't move because it is in a pit and you dig a hole and put that pillar into that hole and cover with mud and other stones and things like that, so that the lower part is broad, upper part is narrow. Therefore, it is not moving. In that sense, I refer to in Ratana Sutra, it says, Chatubbi Vateya Sampakampyo. If there are storms, mighty storms coming from four directions, no storm can, no cyclone can disturb that Indrakila, that pillar. Similarly, the Buddha says, nothing can disturb, nothing can move the mind of an arahant. The secret of this non-movement is that mind is empty. The mind empty of its content is an enlightened mind. Our mind contains our thoughts and feelings. Enlightenment means the extinction of thoughts and feelings. According to the first paean of joy that you get in the Jaravaga of Dhammapada, Buddha said, at its enlightenment, all thinking ceased, came to an end, no more thinking. Visankara gatan chitta. No good thoughts, no bad thoughts, no neutral thoughts, no thinking. Why there is no thinking in an enlightened mind? Enlightenment is the irrigation of our likes, dislikes and ignorance, referred to as lobha, dosa, moha in the Buddha's language called Pali. Or raga, dosa, moha. Raga is attachment. Lobha is greed, improved state of attachment. Attachment, resentment, moha. And ignorance, not knowing. Because we think of things that we like, that we think that we are attached to. We think of things that we dislike, that we resent. We think of things that we really do not know due to the illusion created by our own mind. Enlightenment means the disappearance of illusions, the disappearance of ignorance. Ignorance is metaphorically referred to as darkness. Enlightenment means bringing forth light to that, dawn of light. In fact, in his first sermon, Buddha referred to enlightenment as the dawn of light, Aloko Udapadi. The meaning of Aloko Udapadi is the light dawn. That means, metaphorically, poetically, the darkness of ignorance disappeared. That is enlightenment. What is ignorance? Ignorance of the reality. Reality of what? Reality of what we know, what we experience. We experience nothing other than our mental images. For example, we see a bird or a dog or a tree. That means that object creates an image in our eye. That image is sent to our brain and brain recognizes it. Then mind becomes aware of it. The mind becomes aware not the bird or the tree or the river outside, but only the image created in the ear, in the eye. Similarly, all other sense organs create images of their experiences and send them to the brain and through the brain to the mind, so that a being becomes aware of sensations. But all sensations are imperfect. No sense organs can know the reality of anything. Therefore, the information, the data they supply to the mind through the brain are imperfect. Not real, appear to be real. Therefore, our mind is made of illusions. All mental images are illusions. Once you realize that you get attached to or that you resent mental illusions, you realize that it is a foolish act. In Nibbeda Sutta, Buddha said, attachment means attachment to mental images. Sankappa rago purisassa kamo. Buddha's word. Mind free from attachment to mental images means free from resentment to mental images, free from the ignorance of real nature of mental images means that mind is enlightened. What is the real nature of mental images? They are born to decay and die. That is what the first disciple of the called ascetic Kondanya realized by listening to the Buddha for a few seconds. By listening to the Buddha, delivering his first sermon called Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. And then Buddha said, there dawned in the mind of Reverend Kondanya the eye to see the mental images. Dhamma Chakku. Dhamma means mental images, mental formations. Chakku means eye, but it means seeing. That ascetic realized, Yankincha samudaya dhammam sabbanta nirodha dhammanti. All mental formations are born to decay and die. They disappear. There is nothing that we can hold on to. There is nothing that we can resent in a mental image. No image, though it appears to be real, is not an actual reality. For example, your image may appear in the mirror, in the TV, in a cinema hall screen, in a computer, but they are all images. They are not real, though they appear to be real. Once an enlightenment realized the true nature of all mental experiences, thinking ceases. Thinking means creating mental images, mental forms. That means emptying the mind of its entire content. Enlightened mind is a mind free of all mental forms. That means a mind free of vibrations. That is why Buddha mentioned nirvana as emptiness, void. In Pali, sunyata. In Sanskrit, sunyatva. The last disciple of the Buddha was very intelligent, learned scholar. He had a problem. Where is nirvana and what is there in the nirvana? That is the Buddha speak of. And he knew it was only the Buddha who could give an answer to it correctly. Therefore, when he heard the Buddha was about to pass away, he ran to the Buddha to find an answer. That was the last disciple the Buddha had. But what the Buddha uttered to him as a direct meaning as well as an indirect meaning, inferred meaning, implied meaning. The direct meaning is you want to find out where is nirvana. Buddha said, Nati bahiro samano. Samano means the tranquil state of tranquility. There is no tranquility outside anywhere else. That is the secondary meaning. The primary meaning is there are no enlightened ones outside the Buddha's congregation of disciples. Only the Buddha's disciples can get enlightened by following the Buddha's technique. No other teacher who lived at that time could enlighten a disciple, nor can a teacher get enlightened by following his technique. That is the primary meaning. The inner meaning is the tranquility state of non-vibration is nowhere else but only within oneself, within one's own mind, within an enlightened mind that doesn't get disturbed by worldly incidents, events. As I mentioned in Mangala Sutta, Puttasa loka dhamme chittang yatanakam. As I mentioned in Ratana Sutta, the discourse, Yatinda Kilo Patavinsitosya, pillar called Indra Kila, planted in front of the main gate of a city at the Buddha's time. Unmoved by storms. In the Mula Pariyaya Sutta, Buddha mentioned indirectly the enlightened minds are not moved. Moving is referred to by the Buddha as out of the four elements, the element called Vayu. Vayamati means moving. No motion, no vibration. Vibration is a motion, moving. Other Patavi, Apo, Tejo. Referred to in the Greek way, solid, liquid, gas, and so on. And different meaning. But whatever it is, we are going out of the way. The enlightened mind is free of vibration. And a state free of vibration is nowhere else within oneself. That is why samano nati bahire. Bahire means outside, but within oneself. That is why Jesus Christ, as reported in the Bible, said, the kingdom of God is within yourself. It's not outside you, within you. Similarly, nirvana is within you, nowhere else. That is the tranquility within yourself. Then he said, Akase padannati. Akasa means the voidness, emptiness. Akasannan chayatanya, the trance, emptiness, void. If something is empty, void, there is nothing in it. Akase padannati. No element is found in there. Kevada Sutta refers to this very nicely. There is nothing material in the nirvana, in the enlightened state of a mind. Completely empty. That means completely free of vibrations. Thoughts are vibrations. Feelings are vibrations. Electrons, vibration. Proton, neutron, vibrations. There is nothing in this world that is not vibrating. Everything is changing, everything is moving. That universal movement is also created by the universal energy that is vibrating. Non-vibrating state is only nirvana, that is within oneself. That is the basis of our mind. What we call mind is imported to that basis, to that base, emptiness. Emptiness of the mind is occupied by thoughts and feelings. Thoughts and feelings are born to decay and die. But emptiness is eternal. It is not, according to Satya Nibbana Sutta, a Buddha discourse, it is ajata, it is not born. Abhuta, it is not an event happening, not an incident, not a manifestation. Akata, it's not something done. Asankata, it is not something composed of things that are available. That means it is only emptiness. In the Kevada Sutta that I referred to, you say there are no material elements called Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu in Nirvana. And so it says there are no different forms like short, long, fat, lean, and etc. Good or bad, no forms. And there is no nama rupa, there is no body, there is no mind. Nirvana is a state free from the mind and the body. Mind, as I mentioned earlier, is a vibrating unit. The body is a vibrating unit. Heart is vibrating. The body is vibrating. The brain is vibrating. We get only vibrations, and according to the string theory, things are different from one another due to different patterns of vibrations. We are living in a world of vibration, and Buddha showed us a path, a technique to reach our original intrinsic state or stage called a non-vibrating state. That is nirvana. That is why, as I mentioned earlier, Puttasya loka dhamme chittang yasana kampati. Enlightened minds are not vibrating. Yatinda kilo patavin sitosya. Enlightened mind is not moving, free of vibration. Therefore, an enlightened mind only can realize the supreme bliss of non-vibration, which we refer to as nirvana.